Good morning, dear students. This is our chapter is Delhi Sultanate. Okay, and today I am going to discuss with you this part, Razia Sultana 1236 to 1240. In previous we have taught about Iltutmish, Qutbuddin Aibak, that is the slave dynasty. Okay. And in between the slave dynasty, next part is Razia Sultana. Who was Razia Sultana? Razia Sultana was the only Muslim woman ruler of Delhi at that time. She succeeded her brother Rukunuddin Firoz Shah. Okay, she was well liked by common people. So those who were the common people, they liked her very much. But those who were the nobles and the court poet, whoever, they actually didn't like her. Minhaj-e-Siraj, a court chronicle, that Razia had all the qualities. Okay, Minhaj-e-Siraj, a court chronicle, believed that Razia had all the qualities of good ruler and was more worthy of the title than any of her brothers. So, Razia have brothers, but they were not able to handle the kingdom or take the power of the kingdom or ruled over the kingdom. So that is why actually they have no any quality to rule and rule the their kingdom. That is why Razia got the power to look or ruled over the kingdom. But since she was a female, she could not be accepted as a ruler according to the thought process of the nobles and the other administrators of that time. I have told that those who were the nobles and the other administrators, they didn't like the rule of the Razia. Razia's reign was short-lived and full of problems. The nobles, especially Chahalgani, could not tolerate a woman's rule. They wanted power in their hands. Therefore, they conspired against her and killed her in a battle just outside of the Delhi. Okay, so they planned, and after that they killed her in a battle which was actually held outside of the Delhi, not inside the Delhi. Her grave is near Turkman Gate in Delhi. So where is her grave is situated? It is Turkman Gate in Delhi. Now the period from 1240 to 1266. What was happened? Razia's death did not solve anything, but it certainly created a power vacuum. Vacuum means empty. So after her death, the power was totally vacuum because there were no any ruler who able to hand over the kingdom, no ruler who be able to handle the kingdoms or ruled over the kingdom. The period from 1240 to 1266 saw many political disturbances. Nasiruddin Mahmud, another son of Iltutmish, ruled from 1246 to 1266. He was not a capable ruler and ruled like a puppet with the support of nobles. During Nasiruddin's reign, Balban, who was a powerful noble. Okay, so Nasiruddin reign one of the man whose name was Balban, and he was a powerful noble. He can control the entire administration. In 1266, after the death of Nasiruddin, Balban himself came to power. So, after the death of Nasiruddin, normal process, Balban came to the power, and he proved to be the most powerful ruler of the slave dynasty. Now next is Ghiyasuddin Balban. Balban was a very powerful noble. After becoming the Sultan, Balban recognized and strengthened the army. So he actually formed a strength army force. He led many companies against the local rulers and defeated them. To settle the colonies for Afghan soldiers, he cleared the jungles around Delhi. By setting these colonies, he also checked the Mewatis, who hid in jungles and created problems. So, he led many campaign against the local rulers and defeated them. So, those who were the local rulers, they Balban defeated all of them. To settle the colonies for Afghan soldiers, after that he settled some colonies for Afghan soldiers. He cleared the jungles around Delhi. By settling these colonies, he also checked the Mewatis, who hid in jungles and created problem. Few Mewatis are there, those who created the problem, and they were hid in the jungles. Balban also successfully guarded the northwestern borders of his empire against Mongol raids. As a Sultan, Balban adopted a blood and iron policy. Okay, so Balban adopted one policy, its name was blood and iron policy. He knew that during the 20-year rule of Nasiruddin, the Chahalgan had become very strong. Moreover, they did not like the growing power of Balban and were jealous of his ancestors. After becoming Sultan, Balban decided the power of Chahalgani. He put a few Chahalganis to death while others were banished to far off places. After that, Balban introduced Persian customs. It was Sizda and Paibos. So, what is this actually in your last page? Okay, keywords are there. So, you can see the exactly what is Sizda and what is Paibos. Everything is given in detail. Or Zamin Boss, according to common people, such customs were received for one and only Supreme God. Therefore, they considered it un-Islamic. The successor of Balban were weak and couldn't hold the power. This allowed the Khalji tribe to kill the last ruler. So, after the Balban, his successors also very much weak, and they couldn't also able to hold the power. That is why this allowed to Khalji tribe to kill the last ruler of slave dynasty and established their rule. Okay, so means who was the founder of Khalji? He actually killed the last ruler of the slave dynasty, and after that he established his own rule. Okay, students, so today up to this next day I will discuss with you this part, that emergence of strong empire. Okay, so thank you.